Hey guys, we are back for another unboxing video, and this time around for this entry-level HOTAS, which is the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. I had been playing a lot of space games recently: Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, which by the way just released a massive and great update earlier this month. Name the game and I most likely have it. Then suddenly I saw this controller while window shopping and I thought if it can make my gaming experience more immersive. And the next thing I know is that I'm on my way to the cashier to pay for it, so it's actually a little impulsive on my side. But anyway, here we are in this video to check if this one is worth its price. So out of the box, this one is pretty simple. You will have the controller and the manual. Again, this is just an entry-level controller which costs around $30 or so we won't be expecting mind-blowing features. Here is just a single stick with a pretty large base, I must say. This one also got a lot of buttons than what I am expecting. Got 6 on the base of the controller and another 4 on the top of the stick. There are also directional keys, which is pretty neat. The trigger button is as expected located here, and the secondary button on the thumb side. For the stick itself, aside from the usual directional movement, it is also possible to rotate the handle, which I think is perfect in controlling the yaw. And lastly, this weird looking thing here, which is supposedly the thrust controller. Now that we know these things, it's time to test it out with our space games. For No Man's Sky, I just realized the game does not support joysticks directly, which is pretty sad. There are some ways to make it work, but I don't think it's worth the hassle, so I had to skip this one for now. The next game that we have is Elite Dangerous, and it works perfectly fine. The controller already got a lot of buttons, and by reserving a key, or several keys for that fact, to become the shift key, you can increase the amount of input keys that you can have. For example, the number 7 button lets you open or close your landing gear, but by reserving number 9 as shift key, then pressing it together with button 7 will result to a different input, which in this case I can use to start Super Cruise. You can also have another shift key, like let's say button 10, and pressing it again together with button 3 can result to a different input in the game. This function is very convenient, which if taken time to map, you may not need to use your keyboard anymore while playing Elite, though it may take a lot of time to do the memorization of all the shortcuts that you have made. Anyway, back in the game, the controller is great. I don't feel any input lags, which makes playing the game very smooth. And I love it that the harder you steer the stick, the faster the aircraft will turn, which you can barely feel if you are using a controller. And so far, I have no problems decimating my enemies using this controller. On to our last game, which is Star Citizen.
Welcome to Rocket Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
I became so freaking immersed. Aside from switching up the yaw and roll, the default key bindings are already great. I tried playing Arena Commander mode and oh my god, I really felt being a real space pilot. The realistic graphics of this game helps a lot, but using controller makes the dogfight immersive as fuck. Turning your ship in Star Citizen is faster compared to Elite Dangerous, which is maybe why I felt so freaking badass using this controller, since I can do way faster maneuvers on my ship, making it easier to tackle the enemies. I feel like I can beat the Skywalkers now in space battles, easily. On land however, well, as expected, you won't be wanting to use this controller, so stick on your gamepads or your keyboards for character movements. So that's it. The controller is indeed so great considering its price tag, but there are indeed things that could have been improved. For example, this weird throttle input here, aside from being weird, flipping it up or down is only considered as a single input, which is why you will need to find another key to decelerate if it is binded on the acceleration of the aircraft. Also take note that for those first timers like me in using HOTAS, you will actually need to put some force in order to turn your ship, which can make you tired after playing the game for several minutes. I actually love it since it adds to the immersion. I mean, dogfight must be exhilarating to the pilot, right? And you will feel just like that. which makes achieving victory sweeter as you literally work hard for it. But I can see others not liking it as you won't be able to play continuously for long as before. It also just feels so different playing in keyboard or a console controller, which is pretty much on the chill side, than this one which feels a little bit hardcore. Again, it's not necessarily be a bad thing, especially for me, but it is something to note about. So in the end, should you buy this controller? Well, if you are playing a lot of flight games or space simulator games for that matter, then by all means this is definitely worth it. The price tag of only around $30 is very cheap for a lot more immersive combat experience that you can get. An Amazon link is in the description below if you want to check it out. And again, thanks for watching this video and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more things in the future. See you, Space Commanders!